Hello everyone, welcome back to GeoPulse Insights, informing divergent perspectives. In this video we have brought forth another very important concept of international relations and peace and conflict studies. So without further delay, let's begin. The topic that we are going to discuss in this video is violence. Violence is not just war or crime, it's also hidden in systems and culture. Let's get into it. The contents of this video include definition of violence, overview of Johan Galtung's violence triangle, forms of violence and understanding Rohingya crisis through the lens of violence triangle. Let's begin with definition of violence. Johan Galtung defines violence as more than direct harm. He includes structural and cultural forms that prevent people from meeting basic needs. Ted Gurr, on the other hand, focuses on political violence, arguing it stems from relative deprivation, when people feel they deserve more than they're getting, leading to unrest and conflict. Violence isn't always visible. It can be direct like war, or indirect like hunger caused by broken systems. It thrives on power, exclusion, and unmet needs. To build real peace, we must confront both the blows we see and the silence that harms. Now let's understand the types of violence using Johan Galtung's violence triangle. Johan Galtung's violence triangle helps us see how these three layers are connected, and reminds us that real peace means confronting all of them. Violence isn't just what we see in wars or attacks. That's called direct violence, the visible part. But beneath the surface lies structural violence, when systems and institutions deny people their basic needs like healthcare, education, or justice. And deeper still is cultural violence. Beliefs, traditions, or ideologies that make this harm seem normal or justified. Now let's understand these three forms of violence in detail. First, we have direct violence. Direct violence refers to intentional acts that inflict immediate harm, physically or verbally, such as assault, murder, torture, or threats. It's the most visible expression of conflict, where power or frustration is enacted through force, often with clear perpetrators and victims. This form of violence captures attention, but is only the tip of the iceberg. Next we have is structural violence. Structural violence operates beneath the surface, silent but deeply harmful. It's not about bullets or fists, but about unjust systems, biased laws, unequal institutions, and policies that deny people access to essentials like education, healthcare, or fair wages. No single aggressor is needed. This violence is woven into the fabric of society. Over time, routine poverty and exclusion erode human dignity, making structural violence one of the most persistent and overlooked threats to peace. Lastly, we have cultural violence. Cultural violence is the invisible force that justifies and sustains harm. It's found in the stories, symbols, and ideologies that make inequality, discrimination, or even war seem acceptable. When a society dehumanizes a group through religion, tradition, media, or education, it creates a moral shield around violence, making it feel natural, even righteous. Cultural violence shapes our perceptions so deeply, we often don't recognize it as violence at all. Let's understand the Rohingya crisis through the lens of Galtung's violence triangle. The Rohingya crisis isn't just conflict, it's layered, structural, and deeply rooted. Let's break down the Rohingya crisis using Galtung's violence triangle. At the top is direct violence, the visible brutality, killings, rapes, arson, and forced displacement. Beneath that lies structural violence, the invisible oppression through laws like the 1982 Citizenship Act, that stripped the Rohingya of rights, identity, and access. And finally, cultural violence, the narratives that justify it all, portraying Rohingya as outsiders and threats. True peace means addressing all three layers, not just the surface conflict, but the roots beneath. Violence isn't just physical, it can be structural, woven into laws and systems, or cultural, hidden in narratives that normalize harm. Johan Galtung's violence triangle shows us how these layers work together to sustain injustice. Understanding these dimensions is the first step toward real peace. If this opened your eyes, give it a like, share it with someone who cares, and hit subscribe to explore more truths beneath the surface.